differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Exopolitics, paranormal phenomena, and deep analysis of current world events. From somewhere in the desert, between Area 51 and Roswell, blasting across the planet, the Manticore Network proudly presents Veritas, because the truth will set you free.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
It was too fast to be an airplane.
I think it's time to open the books on the question of government investigations of UFOs. We ought to do it really because it's right. We ought to do it because the American people, quite frankly, can handle the truth. And we ought to do it because it's the law.
Be skeptical. Do be as skeptical as you want, but by all, don't close your mind.
Greetings to everyone around the world, and a warm welcome to another edition of the Veritas Show, where you listen because you don't want to believe, you listen because you want to know. I'm your host, Mel Fabregas, and I sincerely thank you for tuning in once again. This is episode number 16. And incidentally, just a few days ago, Veritas turned to the tender age of 4 months. A lot has happened in this short amount of time, and all thanks to you, the listener, and to those volunteers around the world. I would like to remind you that all our past shows are available to you 24/7 by simply going to our website, veritasshow.com. This show is a listener-sponsored program, and we welcome your voluntary listener contributions. So no matter where around the world you're listening from, be it at our website or at any of our affiliates, or even on your iPod, please take a moment the next time you're on the web. We make it very easy and have a secure PayPal donation button on our homepage, veritasshow.com. Please make a contribution to keep Veritas alive. No contribution is too small. Veritas is available on Fridays on our website and through the following affiliates: K-Rock's 0 Point Radio, the Black Vault Radio Network, and the Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 105.8 FM, New Orleans. And more stations are coming soon. You can listen to the Veritas Show on iTunes and RSS feeds throughout cyberspace. We are heard in 114 countries. Yes, you heard that right. From 102, we have climbed to 114 countries. This is evidence that the truth looks beyond boundaries and ideology. I would like to welcome the following 12 new countries listening to Veritas: Bosnia-Herzegovina, Cambodia, Costa Rica, Cyprus, Equatorial Guinea, Iceland, Iran, Libya, Namibia, Reunion, and yes, Reunion is a French island territory located in the Indian Ocean east of Madagascar, Trinidad and Tobago, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The U.S. Virgin Islands being one of my former stomping grounds. So hello to my friends in Charlotte Amalie in St. Thomas, Christiansted and Frederiksted in St. Croix. It's just incredible where the truth and the internet can take us. Tonight's special guest is Nassim Haramein, crossing the event horizon. Nassim will be with us in a few minutes. Next week's special guest is Bob Emenegger, the Holloman Air Force Base UFO landing. In my opinion, one of the most underrated and unknown UFO cases of all time. And the following week, David Sarita, Remember that we have extended the Veritas video contest. Instead of March 31st being the expiration or deadline, it is now April the 30th. So if you're listening and you want to send a promo video for the Veritas video contest, you have until April the 30th. The chat room is now open on Friday evenings through Sunday evenings. And the Manticore, the new forum, is open and free for registration. Go to manticore.com.
Killing at least 49 soldiers. Thanks to surgery at the hospital procedure.
And now to some news. In the past few shows, I have mentioned that Sergeant Clifford Stone has shared with me a number of declassified U.S. Department of Defense documents. I have also requested permission to share this information, and he has given me authorization to do so. The documents are now available at a special category called Members Only inside the Manticore. In order to access these documents, just register as a member at the Manticore by going to manticore.com, and you will see a subforum called Members Only. If you are not a member, that forum is not visible to you, and you will not be able to access it. Registration is free, and it only takes a few seconds. And now I'm going to read to you some of the headlines from our blog. For the rest of the story, go to veritasshow.com and click on blog. Cyberspies or solar storms, the real threat to U.S. electrical grid. UFO mystery solved according to Area 51 workers. Otherworldly scenes found on sea floor. An extraterrestrial timeline. And Italy muscled scientist who foresaw quake. And before we take a break, let me remind you that if you have any questions for future guests, just send an email to mail@veritasshow.com, or if you would like to recommend a guest, send an email to producer@veritasshow.com and just write a quick and compelling summary of why you believe that guest should be on the Veritas Show. And I have something to share with you. At the end of the show, I will share with you a song I made back in 1998. Nothing professional. However, I sent it to the Billboard Amateur Musician Contest back then, and it became one of the finalists in the world music genre. The funny part was that one day, as I was in need of printer paper, I grabbed the certificate, which was turned over, thinking it was a blank piece of paper. I put it inside the printer, and you can figure out what happened with it. At any rate, the song is called Desert Winds, and I'll include it at the end of the show. Have you ever wondered why those science classes were at all important? Were you ever curious about the mysteries of ancient Egypt? What about the modern mystery of crop circles? For that and much more, our special guest will attempt to answer all our questions, Nassim Haramein. If you want to know, stay with us. This is Mel Fabregas, and you're listening to The Veritas Show.
Mitchell, and you're listening to The Veritas Show.
Nassim Haramein was born in Geneva, Switzerland in 1962. As early as 9 years old, Nassim